Welcome back. Fantastic earnings from Facebook. The social media giant delivered quarterly earnings and revenues that blew past analysts' expectations. After the earnings announcement, the company's shares rose as much as 8%. They're now over 12% in after-hours trading. So for more on Facebook's performance and its outlook, let's join Mark New live from Silicon Valley. Mark, what a phenomenal quarter.
A strong showing for Facebook this quarter as the social media network reported earnings of 31 cents a share on revenue of $2.59 billion, beating estimates of 27 cents a share on the revenue of $2.35 billion. Now, the big win for Facebook here is that it reported that 53% of its revenues now come from mobile advertising, the strongest showing being that of the advertising in its news feed. Facebook has been under intense pressure to prove its monetization efforts are working, and this quarter's earnings may keep some of those critics at bay. But there are other concerns that are even bigger, like whether the service is still popular among today's youth. Is Facebook still hip? The King Library Rockers Breakdance Club at San Jose State University uses Facebook for its group page so it can post events, videos, and photos. But members admit Facebook is not as popular as it used to be, saying they could easily see it going the way of MySpace, a former #1 website that's no longer in the top 300.
It's the same as MySpace. That's the thing that everyone used back in the day. I feel like Facebook is going to face the same thing as well.
There's like advertisements and a lot of false articles, and a lot of kids don't have time for that. So
kids don't have time for Facebook anymore.
Pretty much, yeah.
A new study from market researcher iStrategy Labs found that Facebook has gained users in all age groups above the age of 25. But it also calculated that for users between the ages of 13 and 24, Facebook now has 6.7 million fewer users compared to 3 years ago. Researchers even conducted a recent study using infectious diseases to model the life cycle of social media. Researchers concluded that Facebook will be like a disease that dies off, predicting that it will lose 80% of its peak user base within a few years' time. Facebook turned the tables using its own data scientists to apply the same model to Princeton and how it was faring on Google searches. Facebook mockingly concluded that Princeton would have no students by 2021. But tech writer Megan Kelly says it's no laughing matter that Facebook faces some serious competition for the youth market.
I was chatting with my cousins who are all kind of in that 15 to 18 range, and they said that Facebook is really just a lot of content to go through. Snapchat is a one and done. You see a picture, you laugh, you're over it. Twitter, quick news hits, quick blurbs, easy to digest.
Student Anthony Madrigal says in about a year's time, Facebook has gone from his most frequently used app to his #3.
Yeah, a lot of older relatives are adding Facebook and trying to add me, and I just ignore it because I don't want them seeing my personal business.
Anthony still uses it to keep track of friends, but says if something better comes along, he won't hesitate to switch. And in Facebook's earnings call, an answer to the question on teen usage was eagerly anticipated. That question came up, but the company's CFO, David Eberson, said there was no data to report on the topic. Perhaps a wise move to avoid marring the news of the strong quarter, unlike last quarter when the company did set off alarm bells by admitting to declining teen usage. Michelle.
Well, Mark, it's in debate whether it's lost its cool factor, but according to their earnings, there was a 16% growth in user base from the fourth quarter of last year up to 1.2 billion. Now, one of the impressive things for this earnings was advertising. So, Mark, do you think Facebook has finally found the right formula for advertising?
Well, if they can keep teens from leaving, Facebook does appear to be on the right track with its advertising strategy. The company's CFO said the most important number for the company was that it had seen a 76% growth in ad revenue versus last year. Now, CEO Sheryl Sandberg listed 3 key drivers for that growth. First, mobile engagement. Mobile ad revenue this quarter was nearly as much as all revenue a year ago. The second key is an increase in the number of marketers using Facebook, including some progress with small businesses and brand markets. Finally, making ads useful for consumers. Sandberg credited Facebook's custom audiences tool, which helps companies better target their ads. She also said the shift to personalization is the biggest thing happening in marketing, and that no one was better equipped for this than Facebook, which has, in her own words, data on more than 1 billion people, from the movies they watch to the books they read. All this data collecting may be starting to pay off financially. Michelle.
All right. Thanks so much, Mark Newmark, live for us in Silicon Valley. We're taking